Beautiful people, welcome back to yet another episode of the Ignite Your Purpose Show podcast vlog, the daily vibe where we talk longevity through a healthy lifestyle, and that is through a mix of the mental, physical, and that spiritual knowledge, people, the mind, body, soul trifecta, and every day we simply trying to be better than we were yesterday, going from that negative vibe to that positive vibe. On that note, if any of us, which I tend to do just to keep somewhat current, and I don't divulge too deep into this stuff because I don't want too much of that, toxicity from the media coming into me, but paying attention a little bit to what goes on in the world, without diving too deep. But if anybody have seen and have heard about, the 70-year reunion that's going on over in Asia, Hong Kong protesters, it's been going on for a long time, to be honest. It probably came into my zeitgeist maybe in the summer. Anyhow, today being October, the start of October, there was a gentleman who was shot and killed, in these riots. And it gets me to wondering, it gets me to thinking, is it all worth it? And I'm on the middle here. I'm in the middle here because, and I would butcher her name, so I'm not going to say her name. I'll probably put it in the notes somewhere. But I was watching a talk by a Buddhist monk. She's from Australia. Amazing lady. We call them darmah talks, right? It's the type of talk that every other sentence is something that leaves you with a hyperbole, something to make your mind think. And this lady talked about how, she was really lost coming up as a child. She grew up, I think, in some type of very religious home, whether it was Catholic. Again, I'm butchering this a little bit, but I want to get the point across. She went on to then, being an atheist, and then she wanted to be a feminist, and then she was, against animal killing, and then she was for Black Power, and then she was. And I remember she was telling me she went into a march. Well, she wasn't just telling me; she was telling a group of us, and it was a Black Power Black Panther march, or for the Black Power. I'm not exactly sure what march it was, but this was back in the day, obviously. And she said she at that point realized now that, there is no point in even marching when it really comes down to it. So if I look at what's going on in the world today, and you have, all these marches, against Trump, for veganism, for paleo, for, climate change. There's so much going on in the world, and there's, I feel that there has to be a part where us as humans, shake the tree a little bit, rock the tree, right? Having said that, if we go way deeper, if we go way up the scale to that top of that pyramid, does any of this actually matter? At one part of me feels like for sure, if enough people, even with the organic movement, if enough people purchase and buy it, the major labels, the major brands tend to, produce more of it. Now we can go conspiracy theory into that, and are they actually doing that, and what does organic mean, and all that. But if the people want it and support it with their dollars, then there is some value there that, yes, we can make things change, right? Now, on the other hand, what that lady was saying, in the grand scheme of things, if we really are a flash in the pot, in the pan of this finite timeline, right, that's been going on for billions and billions and billions of years, does getting your life taken, going after something you believe deeply in, does it really matter in the end? This is where I sit on the fence on this, when I teeter-totter back and forth, because I understand where she's coming from. In 200 years, will it matter? I don't know. Maybe it will. Should that man have or female lost their life? How does it get to the point where, a protester gets shot? Will that be a catalyst for change right there? You see what I'm saying? There's so many things where I go back and forth. Does it actually matter? And do us as a people, 7 billion standing up against the few that control, do we have that much power to make a change? And I do feel that, yes, we do. And then I also feel that, you're right, man. In 500 years' time, will any of us even be here? You know what I mean? So should we just let things flow and be so at peace with ourselves, in ourselves, that none of this outside stuff matters? And then you run the risk of, do then we all end up being, prisoners on the plantation. Could that happen if, the few that are actually awake and decide to control us keep going that way? So anyway, I wanted to shout out the families that are rioting, that are losing their lives, that are standing up for what they believe in to make a change. And then I also want to shout out all the monks and the meditators and those who are changing themselves from within to make a difference externally. So my heart goes out to both, and I'm in the middle. I'm with both sides. So I wanted to share that with you guys today. Hope it helps. Hope it brings some clarity into your minds, makes you kind of second guess some of your belief systems from way back when. And that's it. That's all. We will talk to you again tomorrow, because you know what we do. I hope you are well. Let's be better than we were. And that takes time, that takes work, that takes effort. Talk to you tomorrow.